Good evening and welcome to the Channel studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Canadian police have found the body of one of two brothers wanted for a mass stabbing attack that left 10 people dead and 18 injured in the province of Saskatchewan. An officer said Damien Sanderson, seen here on the left, had injuries that did not appear self-inflicted but gave no further details. He was found at the James Smith Cree Nation, the indigenous community where most of the victims lived. Police say Sanderson's brother, Miles, is still at large and dangerous.
Miles Sanderson, Damien's brother, may have sustained injuries. This has not been confirmed. But we do want the public to know this because there is a possibility he may seek medical attention. Even if he is injured, it does not mean he is not still dangerous. Miles has a lengthy criminal record involving both persons and property crimes.
Liz Truss has travelled to Scotland to meet the Queen for the transition of power from Boris Johnson to become Prime Minister. Her plane landed earlier in foggy conditions at Aberdeen Airport before a convoy of vehicles took her to Balmoral Castle to meet the Queen. She then addressed the nation from 10 Downing Street.
Now is the time to tackle the issues that are holding Britain back. We need to build roads, homes and broadband faster. We need more investment and great jobs in every town and city across our country. We need to reduce the burden on families and help people get on in life. I know that we have what it takes to tackle those challenges. Of course, it won't be easy, but we can do it. We will transform Britain into an aspiration nation with high-paying jobs, safe streets, and where everyone, everywhere, has the opportunities they deserve.
Earlier, Boris Johnson bowed out as British Prime Minister, ending a tumultuous 3 years in office. Mr Johnson, who was forced out of office by his own Conservative Party over a series of scandals, left number 10 Downing Street to choreographed applause from staff and civil servants working there. He then urged the country to come together and back his successor.
Liz Truss and this compassionate Conservative government will do everything we can to get people through this crisis, and this country will endure it and we will win. And if Putin thinks that he can succeed by blackmailing or bullying the British people, then he is utterly deluded.
Footage has been released of Russia's President Vladimir Putin smiling and joking with his defense minister as he inspected a big military drill in Russia's Far East. The Zvezda military news service showed a clip of Putin sitting next to Sergei Shoigu in military combat jackets. The Vostok exercises involved troops from China and India. The Defense Ministry said the war games that began on September the 1st are made up of 50,000 troops, only a fraction of the 300,000 they said took part in 2018. South Korea has deployed Marines and mobilized amphibious vehicles to help with search and rescue efforts after Typhoon Hinnamore made landfall in the country's south, leaving thousands of people displaced and at least one person dead. Videos showed people being rescued in tanks from waterlogged streets. Casualty numbers could rise as authorities continue rescue operations. About 2,900 people were still waiting to be evacuated, mostly in southern regions. And finally, climate activist Greta Thunberg says Sweden's politicians are ignoring the climate crisis in the run-up to the election on September the 11th. Thunberg, whose Friday protest outside Sweden's parliament years ago turned into a global youth movement demanding action on climate change, said the issue had been pretty much non-existent during the campaign.
We treat the climate crisis as a distant threat far away in the future. It's not something that impacts people here and now, but it is very much impacting people here and now. We have chosen not to communicate that many of the crises that we are experiencing now are very closely interlinked, and therefore people, of course, only focus on the things that are right ahead of them, instead of actually focusing on the larger holistic picture.
And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel studios in Lagos.